Good evening, everyone. Let me see how many of you are here.
Good evening, Chef Amitabha.
Amitofo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Some people, they are too happy to remember that it's time for the class. Don't blame them. 吉祥. So today, we're going to 吉祥. I hope you have a good week. In the last week, here in Austin, it's the weather is very changeable. Sometimes it's very cloudy, sometimes rain, sometimes big sunshine. So that helped me. Yeah, that helped me to understand the Buddha's teaching of impermanence, just observing the weather changes. Okay, so today we are going to continue the study of the book, The Rabbit's Home, which is a commentary by Venerable Master Xing Yun on the Platform Sutra. And the chapter is chapter 7. The title is Opportunities and Conditions. And in Chinese, it's 机缘品. Perhaps when you read that in Chinese, you have a better understanding of what this chapter is about. It's about the disciples of the sixth patriarch, Venerable Master Huineng. And well, let me give you a very brief historical background about this, or maybe not historical background. In Chinese Buddhism, the most popular Buddhist school in China, when it developed to Tang Dynasty, which is about 9 or 10 century, it developed into 8 Buddhist schools. And in each school, we often can list the patriarch, okay, of each school. The first patriarch, the second patriarch, and the third patriarch, etc. Now, usually the first patriarch is not the one who says that, okay, now I'm going to establish a Buddhist school called Tiantai School or called the meditation school. Usually it's the students of a very outstanding master that student, based on the teaching of his master, and then they put the master's teaching into words and developed that teaching his students, and then try to make it a very big impact on the contemporary practitioners' learning and studying and practice. Okay, so in Chinese meditation school, when we come to the sixth patriarch, okay, it's already 6 patriarchs there, okay? And the Master Huineng, the 6th patriarch, he didn't claim that he is the 6th patriarch, okay? It's his student, okay? And particularly his student, Venerable Shen Hui, okay, claimed that his teacher, Master Huineng, is the 6th patriarch of meditation school. Okay? And so in this chapter, we're going to study, if you have prepared for the class today, you would have read the dialogue between Master Huineng and his students, okay? And the conversation covers a variety of Buddhist philosophy, like a Tiantai, like a meditation school, like a mind only school, or consciousness only school. So it means that in Master Huineng's time, already all these Buddhist thoughts that we later regarded as the most popular Chinese Buddhist schools are already very popular among the Buddhist practitioners in Tang Dynasty. And so that when you read this chapter number 7, you come across different students asking Buddhist philosophies that it seems not related to the meditation school, okay? But that is the phenomenon, okay? The reality of what has happened in Master Huineng's time. Okay, so the English version of Master Xingyun's commentary on this chapter is divided into 5 sections, while in the Chinese version, in total, it has 10 sections. Okay, so for those who can read the Chinese version, I would encourage you to read that. It's very informative. And personally, I like to read the stories, how the students got enlightened upon having a dialogue with Master Huineng. Okay, and so the first part is talking about a dialogue between the students, Huihai and Master Huineng. So the topic is about, okay, a quote, "The mind is the Buddha." Okay. Now, this is very important, and that's why we put that at the very first section of this commentary on chapter 7. So all throughout the Platform Sutra, the concept of the mind is the Buddha, okay, is almost everywhere in this book, okay? So you can put it in this way: the Buddha is the mind is the Buddha, okay? And then you can also put it, there is no mind, there is no Buddha, okay? Now, it's very contradictory if we see that from a logic mind, but it doesn't mean that Buddhist thought is illogic, okay? Okay, this is a way to you have to be familiar with the Tan language. Okay, it's a way to go beyond our ordinary inference of an idea. Okay, now the Buddha is the mind is the Buddha. It is quoted here because many meditation school or many Buddhist students, they think that Buddha is someone else. Buddha is somewhere else. And we as Buddhist students, we need to go out and then find a Buddha out there, okay? But here it says the Buddha is the mind, or the mind is the Buddha. It sort of equates the Buddha and the mind. Okay? But it is so difficult for we ordinary Buddhists, because most of us, we started in practicing Buddhism by bowing to the Buddha statue or the picture of the Buddha, right? We pray to the Buddha, okay? And so if the Buddha is the mind, then we will ask, where is the mind? Okay. And the second quote is, there is no mind, there is no Buddha. So when you are, when you can accept the Buddha is the mind is the Buddha, based on the teaching, the doctrinal teaching, telling us what is the mind. And then when you purify your mind, then your Buddha nature is there. You can see your Buddha nature, right? And then we say, okay, the Buddha is there. When you start to accept that idea, then the meditation teacher, the Zen master, Time master says, there is no mind, there is no Buddha. Okay, and it's kind of shock. So how could that be? Okay, but isn't that often happens in our daily life? Okay, that you find a job, and then when you start to feel that it's a steady job, it seems that you can rely on your job to support your finance, and then suddenly you're laid off. Okay, that happens in our daily life, and it also happens in our relationship with our spouse, with our friends, right? Sometimes you feel that, okay, so I married to someone and then it's a happy ever after. But we see so many divorces in the world, okay? Not to mention recently, Bill Gates' marriage, okay? That's a shock to most of us, isn't that? Okay, so we have to prepare that impermanence is there in our daily life. So when we start to believe that that is the mind, which is the Buddha, then the master says, there is no mind and there is no Buddha. Okay? Then how are we going to accept that? Okay? We have to practice. Okay. So there is a, let me see where, wait a second. Okay. Okay. So that is a dialogue between Master Ma Zhu Dao Yi, okay, and the students. Okay. So the student asks Ma Zhu Dao Yi, the master, says that whenever people are asking you, okay, what is the Dharma? And then your answer is always, the mind is the Buddha. Right? So how could that be? Why are you giving this kind of answer? So the master says, when a child is crying, okay, and then you give them what they want. So you tell them that the mind is the Buddha, the mind is the mind is the Buddha, and the Buddha is the mind. But when the child stops crying, okay, then what will you answer? Okay, and this tells us that when we as ordinary human being, a beginner in Buddhism, so we want something substantial. We want a solid, concrete, okay, answer of what is the Buddha. Okay, and then the answer, the Buddha is the mind, is very satisfactory that we can accept it. Okay, and then after we practice for some time, then we are ready. We are like the child who is no longer crying. Then we have a stronger faith in Buddhism. So when the master told us there is no Buddha, there is no mind, okay, we won't be knocked out because we are stronger to accept that there is no mind, there is no Buddha. Okay? So I don't know where you are. Now, if I tell you there is no Buddha, will you just say, okay, bye-bye, Venerable, I will go to other religion? Okay, so this is a test, okay? Now, so the people, the Buddhist students, when they are learning the Buddhist teaching, or they try to settle down their monkey mind, okay? They have a lot of questions about where is the Buddha? Where is the mind? Okay. Then the master says, the mind, the Buddhas, and the sentient beings, okay, they are of no difference. Now it's kind of difficult question, right? So let me hear you. What do you think? Do you think your mind and the Buddhas and the sentient beings are the same or different? Okay. Anyone would like to tell me, okay, out of your own experience, not because the book says that. Who would like to try? If you want to say, to speak up, you can unmute yourself. Or you just memorize it.
Yes,
yeah.
Shifu.
Yes. Any?
The mind, the Buddha, and the sentient beings is exactly is in one. Yes. This is a new Annie Tian Deng Jiexin from New York. And then for what we study and what we meditate, we can figure it out. The mind, the Buddhas, the sentient beings, all in one. From very beginning, I learned from Avatamsaka Sutra, really talk about this. And then after we meditate, practice by ourselves, you exactly can figure it out. When you are sitting there, Buddha is with you, because the Buddha is no one else. It's on your mind. Not everyone we have a Buddha nature. And then the same time, you can figure it out. The all is with you, because we are in one. Here, you just can really understand when one of us in our mind achieve enlightenment, attain the Buddhahood, whole world, whole sentient beings is Buddhahood, is in one. That's
okay.
only what we can figure out, not that really you can explain in words. Since the Sifu asking, we have to try to answer, but exactly it's in one.
Yes.
Thank you, Sifu.
Thank you, Annie. Yes, the Buddhas and the mind and sentient beings, they are actually no difference. But because we are ordinary people, so we are taught to differentiate the Buddha out there, me here, and you there, and you and I are different. And so we make all these distinctions, okay? But the Buddha's teaching says that we are all together in one. So when you want to seek your Buddhahood, it's not seeking something outside. We have to seeking our Buddhahood inside, okay? Thank you. Okay. So the conclusion of the first section about the mind is the Buddha is that the true Dhammakaya is within me and inherently complete. Okay, so the Dhammakaya, if you are not familiar with this term, Kaya means body, the Dhamma, body, or the essence of Dharma, or the essence of the truth, or the reality. Okay? So the reality, the true reality is within each one of us. Okay? And then it's complete. So we have to understand this first, so as to understand that me, the mind, the Buddhas, and all sentient beings are in oneness. Okay. Now, the second sessions, in this chapter, it talks about the Lotus Sutra. It's because in its text, that in the text of chapter 7, there is a dialogue of a student, Master Fa, and Master Huineng. Their conversation focused on the topic of Lotus Sutra. The student Fa has recited the Lotus Sutra for thousands of times. Okay? And then he became so arrogant about what he has achieved, reciting a sutra so many times, and not to mention the Lotus Sutra is very voluminous. Okay? And so he's proud of that, but Master Huineng, okay, says that if you don't understand the meaning of the text, what is the use of just reciting the words? I think that also tells what we are, okay, as a student. We recite the sutra, so we do morning chanting, evening chanting, and then we repeat the same sutra every day or day and night. But do we really understand the meaning of the text or not? Okay, it depends. Okay, sometimes gradually you understand the text, but sometimes you just read the words without understanding the meaning of the text. So here in this section, Venerable Master Xing comment on this. Okay. First of all, he talks about the Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, in Mahayana Buddhism, it emphasizes about the ultimate teaching. Okay, and what is the ultimate teaching? In Theravada Buddhism, it focuses more on the individual spiritual cultivation, okay, to observe the precept, to be a very disciplined student, okay, to meditate, to enter different level jhanas of meditation, okay, different mindful status, right? But in Mahayana Buddhism, we focus more on helping others, okay? That attaining the highest spiritual cultivation is not for oneself, is for benefiting all, okay? So in Lotus Sutra, it is this kind of Mahayana Buddhist teaching. And in the classification of all the Mahayana Buddhist sutras, the Lotus Sutra and the Mahaparinirvana Sutra are regarded as the final teachings of the Buddha, which is about the last 8 years of his 49 years of teaching after his enlightenment. Okay? And because we have the so-called the ultimate teaching, so what about the formal teachings that Shakyamuni Buddha has taught, such as the Pragya Sutras, the wisdom teaching, such as the other the Diamond Sutra, for example, okay, the Heart Sutra, okay, and those teachings are regarded as just skillful means, okay? They are like tools, okay, helping us to ultimately understand the Buddha's teaching, perfect teaching. Okay, so now that build up enough suspense about, so what are the ultimate teachings of the Buddha? And in this sutra, it tells us about the 7 parables. Now, I don't want to spend time in explaining what are the 7 parables. To summarize all these parables, the teaching of the parables is that the Lotus Sutra is presenting us that there is one ultimate vehicle, okay, comparing with the 3 vehicles, which are the Sravaka vehicle, the Paccekabuddha vehicle, the Bodhisattva vehicle, okay? So what the Lotus Sutra wants us to understand is that at the beginning, based on our different faculties, our capacities in understanding the Buddha's teaching, it's okay, we stay in the 3 vehicles, but ultimately we have to learn what is the ultimate vehicle of Buddhism. Okay. And the purpose, one of the very famous quote in this Lotus Sutra, okay, here it shows that the Buddha only appeared in the world to teach sentient beings to awaken to the Buddha's knowledge and vision and have confidence that they too can become Buddhas. Okay. Now, this is a very important teaching in Mahayana Buddhism because in early Buddhism or in Theravada Buddhism, they never say that you can become a Buddha. Okay, the highest achievement of their cultivation is to become Arhat. Okay, and the Buddha, they dress the Buddha as the great, okay, Arhat, okay, 大圣文身. And so now from the quote, the Buddha only appeared in the world, okay, to teach sentient beings, especially us human beings, to awaken to the Buddha's knowledge and vision, okay, the Buddha's knowledge and his vision about life, about the universe, okay? And then also the very important is that in order that all sentient beings would have confidence. What kind of confidence? The confidence that we also can become Buddhas. Now, if I ask you, do you have confidence that you can become a Buddha? Okay. Some of you will nod your head, but some of you will say very humbly, says, oh, no, I think I have to wait couples of times. Okay. But Master Xingyun told us that we have to vow and then speak up that I am a Buddha. Okay. So that is the confidence that the Buddha appeared in this world, that they want us to have that kind of confidence, be able to become a Buddha. Okay, so that is about the second section, the Lotus Sutra. Okay, and I hope that you really go back to read all the 7 parables. And after describing each parable, Venerable Master Xingyun also told us the meaning, the significance of that parable. Now, this number 3 is about consciousness only. This is a very difficult section for me to explain here, just within a short period of time. To put it simply, what Master Xingyin want to say is that consciousness only is this kind of Buddhist philosophy. Okay, it is regarded as Buddhist psychology. Okay, so if you have dialogue with conversation with any psychologist in the States, you can discuss with them about the Buddhist psychology. They will be surprised what Buddhism has to say in about the mind. It is said that the three realms are only the mind. Now, the three realms, it's the realm of the form, the realm of the desire, right? The realm of the form and the realm of the formlessness. Okay, and then we are all living in the three realms. All the cycle of rebirth in the six realms are within what we call the three realms here. Okay, and it says that the three realms are only the mind, and all phenomena are just consciousness, meaning that the mountains we see, the rivers, okay, the food we eat, okay, the people we meet, okay, they are just consciousness. Okay, very difficult to understand. Okay, okay, and then it says that no mind is every mind. Now here, no mind, quote unquote, it means that you don't arise a thought in your mind, okay? Good or bad, you don't arise any thought. That is regarded as no mind. And then that no mind is every mind. And no mind is the Buddha mind, okay? Meaning that we ordinary people, we arise in our mind all kind of thought. Say, for example, now I'm teaching the consciousness only in this slide. And then I see every one of you, you look at me, and then perhaps in your mind, you arise a thought. What are you talking about, Venerable Jie? I don't understand. Okay, now all these are mind, okay? All these are not no mind. We have a lot of mind, okay? And so no mind, it's the status of a Buddha. Okay? It's very difficult to attain that. But sometimes, sometimes when you meditate, you will experience maybe 1 second of that no mind. Okay? But very soon your monkey mind will take over, replace that. Okay? So therefore, my master says that in our ordinary human being, our daily life experience, you can experience enlightenment for some moment, okay? And so therefore, we, even though it's difficult to attain that Buddhahood, but bit by bit in our daily meditation, for example, you sort of experience that, that kind of status, very blissful, very pure, okay? Okay, that's a little bit sidetracked. Let me come back to the term manas. Now, manas is the servant's consciousness, and alaya is the eighth consciousness. In the consciousness only school, it categorizes our consciousness into 8. Okay? The first 6 is related to our sensory organ. Okay? The 6 sensory organ, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. okay? And all these, okay, they functions by contacting with the external object, okay? And what is manas? Manas also named as the transmitting consciousness, meaning that what I see in front of me, okay, and then I would transmit that kind of eye consciousness to alaya, okay, and then so it collect, it attach to everything, the sound I hear, the taste that I experience, okay, all these I put, good or bad, I put all the experience in through the 6 sensory organs. I put all this in the 8th consciousness, alaya. And that alaya is regarded as the storehouse consciousness, meaning that it would receive whatever manas bring to it. Okay, so now you can see the function of the all the 8 consciousness. And these 8 consciousness is that which we experience in this life. And then when we go to our next life, the 8th consciousness will continue to our next life, okay? And if we don't want to continue that cycle of birth and death, then in this consciousness only school, it says that then you can transform the consciousness into wisdom. So it categorized that into 4 different kinds of wisdoms. Okay? The 8th consciousness can become perfect mirror-like wisdom, meaning that it is as pure as the mirror that will reflect whatever is there. And then the 7th consciousness, that manas consciousness, that attachment, that transmitting consciousness will be transformed into the wisdom of universal equality. And the 6th consciousness, which functions to differentiate, to distinguish, to dichotomize, okay? That consciousness is transformed into the wisdom of profound insight. And then the 5 consciousnesses, the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, they are transformed into the wisdom of perfect conduct, okay? So these are the 4 wisdoms that once we success in that, we become the Buddha. Okay? And with that, then Master Xing our Master Xing asked that question. So where is the Pure Land? Where is the Pure Land? Now many people, if you follow the Chinese Buddhist school, then we all know that you recite Amitabha Buddha's name, and then you pray to be born in the Pure Land after this life. Okay? But Master Xing says that Pure Land is not out there, okay, in other world, other Buddha land, that actually the Pure Land is right here and now. So Master Xing has a very wonderful explanation on that, how that possible, that Pure Land is right here in our world, right here and now. Anyone who remember how Master Xing described it? Who would like to try? You are very quiet today. Anyone like to try?
Dear Shifu, I like to try.
Okay.
As our dear Master Xing is teaching, I didn't read exactly what the text he wrote. But for what I study and participated in 7 days Pure Land retreat, being I can say many times because since I was little, the darts they go to participate in 7 days retreat. They cannot leave me at home alone, so they take me to go with them. I start to chant Amitabha with them, and then later, year after year, when I gain mature, I understand what the Lost Masters preaching about the Pure Land. And later, I start to learn how to read Amitabha Sutra with chanting Amitabha Buddha. I understand that pure land is in our mind also, just like before we talk about the mind. Pure land in our mind also including the pure land. If you purify your mind completely, if we purify our mind, then our world in our mind, in our society, in our community, what you see will be very purified and you will feel very beautiful. You feel everyone is beautiful, you feel all the environment is so beautiful and you are so happy. And then in the other hand, our dear Master Shen Yin say, if you purify your mind, then your land is pure land. And I believe that. I complete because when you chant, when we, every one of us, we chant the Amitabha Sutra, right? They said, oh, 10,000 eons mile far, far away. And then definitely it's in your mind. If you read the sutra, you visualize exactly the Amitabha Sutra like a blueprint, like a map, show us how the Pure Land look like. If you can follow the text, appear the Pure Land how it look like, then it's in your mind, just there. When the picture show up, you don't need to cross 10,000 years a mile far, far away, just in your mind. And then the same time you chant Amitabha, Amitabha will appear in your mind, just like that, just a second. So people say, oh, you have to chant a lot of Buddhas, number, and the number adds up, and you just can see Amitabha, you just can reach Amitabha's pure land. And in my mind, I don't feel like that way. When you really visualize that and you believe in that and you purify your mind, they just appear there. Yeah. So one day, if you want a rich pure land, why when we pray the end of the 7 days retreat, we pray that we can appear reborn in pure and just like this. It's true. When that picture appear in your mind, you chanting Amitabha with your face, you just there in a second. Right. So I believe that. I like everybody can really understand. And then you will have a strong faith to believe in Buddha, believe in what Master Xing Yin say. Right. Thank you, Sifu.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. Yes, the Pure Land, it's not only just in our vision, okay? It's not only that you visualize that, and then that is your Pure Land. Pure Land can also be actualized in your physical world, okay? And that depends on your practice. Now, each one of us, we are creating our own Pure Land, okay? And then it's a bit by bit in our body, mind, and speech. The 3 acts of goodness: speak good words, do good deeds, think good thoughts. it's in that we are building our Pure Land in our daily life. Okay, so some people says that, oh, you just visualizing a Pure Land in your mind. It's not true. Okay, it's just one of the way that we establishing the Pure Land on this earth. Any, I see, Aina. Hello.
My apology for being late. I'm here in Chicago and have had many calls, temple related. What I think about Pure Land is that one time in a class, one of the participants said, "It seems so hard. It seems so far away." And I said, "It's not north of Omaha. You know, take a U-turn. Take a U-turn. It's inside." And I think sometimes when we hear the visualization, we think we have to travel a far way away to experience that purity, and really it's Pure Land is the divine abodes, in my view. That's where we live. So
is anyone else?
In the commentary, Venerable Xing says that in the last paragraph, if we can allow the body and mind to abide in virtue, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, and the middle way, and live in the state of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, why then would we wish to be reborn in another world?
Right.
Why would we look for the Pure Land? This present moment is the Pure Land.
Yeah,
the Pure Land is created from the mind consciousness. We practice Chan with the mind, and from the mind, all phenomena arise. If we wish to make a beautiful world and a beautiful life, why not begin with a Chan heart?
Very good. So it's not from the mind. We create that kind of Pure Land, and then it would eventually actualize in our physical world. Right?
And Venerable, I was thinking also that people think of it as in the far distance, both physically and in time.
It's because in Amitabha Sutra, it says that there is in certain direction, the west, and then is I don't know how to describe that number. Very bad in math. Anyway, far away. And so I think that sort of give people some misconceptions about how difficult it will be to become, to be born in the Western Pure Land. But just as what Master Xing says, that some of the sutras, they are skillful means. Okay? And then we have to understand that the ultimate teaching of the Buddha is not teaching something outside our mind. Okay, it's everything you can coming back. Okay, you said make a U-turn. Okay, make a U-turn, and then back to our mind. Then we just focus on that first, and then that would open another window for us in our spiritual cultivation. Okay, very good. So quickly, now we can come to the number 4, the Tathagata's knowledge and vision. Okay, because in Lotus Sutra, it says that the Buddha's appearance in this world is to let us understand the Tathagata's knowledge and vision. Okay, so it lists 4 levels, 4 different kinds of knowledge and vision. Now we are ordinary people. Now we are still struggling with what is the right view. Okay, the right view about karma, cause and effect. The right view about the Noble Eightfold Path. The right view about the karma, the law of karma. Okay, and so on. And when you advance a level above, then it's the vehicle, the Sravakas and Pacceka Buddha's view. about understand the dependent origination, okay, to understand the relationship, okay, in our past life, present life, and future lives, for example. And when it becomes the bodhisattvas, then your level of knowledge and vision will be emptiness. And then what is higher above that is the Tathagata's knowledge and vision, and which is pragya, wisdom. Okay. And after the Buddha, he got enlightened, his first inclination is to enter nirvana and not teach the Dharma. Now, who can tell me why?
He didn't think that people would understand the depth and breadth of what he had experienced. So it took him a little while to develop the proper means to teach it. So he had to sit in meditation for a period of time until he was convinced to do it.
He come up with a formula for us and Four Noble Truths. Okay, so who do you remember who sort of pleading in representing all of us to ask the enlightened Buddha to give the teaching? Do you remember who? Hello?
Is it the celestial beings?
Yeah, okay. We have to thank all the celestial beings. Okay. And then the quote, I like it very much because here it tells us a lot of things. Okay. Let me read the quote. There will be this, now this is said by the celestial beings. There will be some who will already have the potential to be liberated, while others can gain the proper causes and conditions to be liberated through your great kindness and compassion. And even if they are not liberated at this time, they will be liberated in the future when Maitreya Buddha arises in the world. Okay, now here I'm so interested in there will be some, okay? Who are that some? Will you regard it as that some people who will already have the potential to be liberated? Do you think you have the potential to be liberated? Yes? Or
we all have the potential.
Or are you still waiting to be liberated in future when the Maitreya Buddha arises in the world? Which would you regard you as? Which categories?
I don't want to wait that long.
Or, yeah, those who have to wait that long, they will gain the proper causes and conditions. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think in reading this, we all want to be that people who already have the potential, right? And how can we become ready, okay, to have that potential? If you don't want to wait for that long, how can we prepare?
Practice 3 acts of goodness.
Yes, okay. Well said. And then attend the class. Attend the class. Don't miss any class. Yes. Who?
Yes. Dear Sifu, this is Annie from New York. Also, I like to say, if we really don't want to wait that long, as my child is the next Buddha, you don't need to wait that long. If we don't want to wait that long, one very good way, as Master Xingyun used to tout, we can chant Amitabha Buddha. And we even can attain the Buddhahood in this life, in this land. Yeah, when we say, oh, you visualize, yeah, that's what we can say in word. We cannot say, oh, you meditate, Amitabha Buddha land really appear there. They don't allow you to speak it out. So we don't allow to say like that. But we only can say, oh, we visualize Amitabha Buddha's pure land. It's appear in our daily life, in this land, in our mind. And then this is what I say. We don't want to wait that long.
You know, Annie, yeah. remember that there are 4 levels of knowledge and vision. Remember, the first one is developing our right view. Okay, and the second one is understand the dependent origination. So we have to prepare ourselves in that way. And then the third third level is the Buddha's level of knowledge and vision, which is emptiness, non-attachment, right? And then finally, you have to cultivate your pragya wisdom. Okay, so there are several ways that you can advance yourself in to be ready.
And also the 4 noble truths and noble and 4 noble tests is very important to practice in our daily life. Yes, and also before we talk about the Amitabha Sutra, says 10万亿佛国度, right? Sifu say I even don't know how to speak it out exactly the right number. When I heard that, I go to Google. 10万亿佛国度. They say 10 trillion Buddha kingdoms far away.
Thank
10
you.
trillion Buddha kingdoms far away. But only when we chant Amitabha, when we meditate, you can see that word in our mind. Thank you. Who's that?
Hi. I just want to share that there's many ways to approach it. So that whatever help you, you just focus on it and practice. You will get better.
Okay.
Yes, that's I all believe. I all believe what Master Xingyun taught. Especially I read his books, talk about in Iran, how he can Amitabha and he feel the emptiness and he feel that word. I was really moving and touched because everyone, if you join Amitabha Buddha's retreat, you can feel that, you can get through that moment. But I really, I read Master Xingyun's books to prove that was real feeling and practice.
Right.
And thank you. I really appreciate that. When she speak it out, wrote in a book, say, 我不是家教的和尚. From that book, I was so happy. You see, oh, what you feel is real things. It's true. Master Xingyun, 50 years ago, he already proved that. I really appreciate
Annie, yes. Yeah, so we appreciate your sharing. Now, next.
Thank you.
So we are ordinary people. So we also want to attain the kind of enlightenment that the Buddha experienced. So here in Master Xingyun's comment, he also says that the ultimate transcendence of ordinary existence into nirvana, he quote, is what? Is no notion of a self, no notion of others, no notion of sentient beings, and no notion of longevity. Okay, so you are detaching, okay, all these kind of notions. And that is also one way that we can prepare ourselves to be ready to be liberated by the Buddha's teaching, okay? So even though we say that the ultimate teaching, the perfect teaching is in that Lotus Sutra or the Parinirvana Sutra, but the earlier skillful means teaching of the Buddha, such as the Diamond Sutra, is also very important in cultivating ourselves. Okay, so this is one of the examples. And so Nirvana, okay, the final part of this commentary. Now, at the very beginning, it tells us students, Huineng's students, is providing, is asking the question to Huineng. And from the question, the Master Huineng says that, okay, you still attach to the idea that you have two kinds of body. One is your physical body, the other is your Dharma body. Okay, it's because in the teaching, in the Buddha's teaching, it talks about the Dharmakaya, the essence of Dharma, the essence of the reality, the truth. So the students got misunderstand that, oh, there is a Dharma body out there, and then here is my physical body. So once I passed away, okay, so where's the physical body? Where's the Dharma body? And in this section, the Master Xingyun says that if you understand the Dharma, you can see Nirvana in your physical body. Okay, and so that Nirvana, okay, it has no difference from that Dharma body, meaning that you can see the Dharma body in your physical body. Okay, so this is from here. It goes back to the very beginning. Now we say the Buddha is the mind is the Buddha, isn't it? Okay, you can find the Buddha in you. Now only here, it changed the verbiage. Instead of saying the Buddha is the mind, it says that the Dharma body, okay, you can see the Dharma body in your physical body. Now you got the idea? Okay, if you understand this, then I can skip this part. And so there are four characteristics of Nirvana. Okay, one is permanence, the other is blissful, and then pure, and the true self. Now, many students got confused because the Buddha's teaching says that everything is impermanent, and why Nirvana is permanent. And in the Buddha's teaching, the first teaching in the Four Noble Truths, that there is suffering, dukkha, okay? There is suffering. But here in Nirvana says Nirvana is blissful. So this again is contradictory to the Buddha's teaching. And then pure, okay? In the Buddha's teaching, he says that we have to purify our body, mind, and speech, right? And in Nirvana, it says it is pure. The Nirvana is pure. And in talking about the self, we as normal human being, okay, the self is an illusory thought. Okay, it's an illusion. But in Nirvana, okay, it describes it as our true self. So everything here, the four characteristics of Nirvana is in contradiction with what the Buddha taught about human beings. So people got confused. In Chinese, it is 常乐我净, okay? And this is the characteristics of Nirvana. So in understanding this, we have to understand what is nirvana, right? If you equate nirvana as Dhammakaya, the essence of truth, reality, okay? Then it is so easy to understand that we ordinary people, we have attachment. So therefore, we experience the impermanence of the world. But the essence of Dhammakaya is not changing. It's there always, okay? And then the happiness we would experience will be blissful, happy forever, okay? And then our mind will be pure, and then it won't be affected by the external conditions. And then the self we found would be our true self instead of the conceited self or the conceptual self. Okay, would that be okay? Do you have any question on this? 常乐我净. Difficult? Okay.
When we step beyond phenomena, that is where we are. There is only unity.
Right, you are right.
There is only purity. There's only bliss. There is only the true self.
Right. Our problem is that we live in the phenomenal world, and that's why we cannot see beyond what's beyond that. So it gives us several synonymous expressions about nirvana, that it is complete peace, the highest bliss, the continuous happiness, perfect merit and wisdom, the complete absence of desire, complete liberation, etc. So when we wish someone be happy, we say that wish you be happy forever and have and ever, happily ever after, right? And maybe in future we can say, may you have nirvana forever. But well, don't misunderstand that nirvana as death. Otherwise, people will blame on you. Okay, so nirvana is a very difficult teaching to understand. And if you have interest, you can read Nirvana Sutra. And in the Platform Sutra, Nirvana Sutra is adopted in explaining the status of the mind. Okay. So if you read the original text of the Platform Sutra, you will find that the teaching of Nirvana Sutra there, okay? So maybe that is another homework if you want to explore what is the teaching of the Nirvana Sutra, and keep in mind that is the final teaching of the Buddha. So you can expect that will be very profound teaching. And so that is here is the quote that also personally I like it very much. It says, those who have awakened to nirvana do not abide within birth and death due to their wisdom, and yet they do not abide in nirvana due to their loving kindness and compassion. So it is out of kindness and compassion that the bodhisattva, the great bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, that they don't stay in the pure and blissful status all the time. They come back to this suffering world to help us. Okay, and then it is because of their wisdom, okay, that they are not to be born, to be in the cycle of birth and death. Okay, and so I think this quote can also be our goal, okay, in practice Buddhism, that on the one hand, we have wisdom, we learn and practice Buddhism so that we have that wisdom to deal with our daily life. But don't forget that we still have to make vows to help others to establish a pure land on this world. Okay, so this is our discussion on this very interesting chapter about opportunities and conditions. These are opportunities and conditions for Master Huineng's students, his disciples, to get enlightened. And we also can relate to ourselves that by reading this sutra, that by meditating, contemplate on the meaning of these stories, and we can also get some wisdom, right, from their dialogues. And then you can pretend that, put yourself in those students' seats, and then see if you ask those kind of questions, how would Master Huineng reply to you? Okay, and after that, next week, we are going to discuss chapter 8, and that is also very important issue, sudden and gradual. Okay? And this has been long discussed in the meditation school, which is better, sudden enlightenment or gradual enlightenment. But in this chapter, we also will find the two great masters, the Master Huineng and Master Shen Xiu. How do they talk about it to each other's teaching in sudden and gradual enlightenment? So I hope to see you all next week. Our students attending the class is getting less. I hope that you remember to attend the class, and if your friends have registered in the class, remind them.
I think by the time getting deeper and deeper, getting difficult, if people cannot understand, they might be really can escape. But today is all my learning timing for many years. Since I was little, I started to listen to Dharma and learning the Dharma. Today is the most happy day for me. Because Sifu, you cover about the Diamond Sutra, you cover Six Patriarch Sutras, you cover Lotus Sutras, and we even talk about Avatamsakas. My and Ascension mean is our self Buddha is in one. These sutra all my lovely sutra, and I read them many human sutra. Used to be my daily work. I read many years. So when people talk about it, like help me to review them. I was so happy.
It's you know,
thing called Dharma joy.
You know, Annie, it's
I feel like that. Love you. Thank you.
It's not me. It's the chapter. It covers that variety of sutras, and then that enable us to
but the way you bring it out.
Yeah.
When you bring it out, I was so happy and enjoy so much.
Thank you.
As you say, don't escape from the class. I guarantee you from now on, never.
Okay.
No matter how busy I get in.
Okay. So sorry, I ran out of time, and then I hope to see you all next week. Wish you all a happy week. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you
so much.
Bye-bye.
Love you.